yourselves. My name is Alicia Lutz, and I am the principal here at Stoddard Elementary School. And what a performance from our school musical cast. This was just a small part of our cast from our inaugural spring musical, Oz. To our student performers, you all did a fantastic job. You were amazing. And each of you represents the endless talent, both academic and extracurricular, we have here with our Wolfpack. Thank you to Mayor Bowser, Chancellor Farabee, Councilmember Fruman, and the rest of our city's education leadership for choosing to celebrate our school's new chapter with us today. Also, a special shout out to Director Hunter and his team at the Department of General Services for building this edition from the ground up. Yay! In just 1 week, next Monday, we will have the pleasure of welcoming hundreds of smiling young faces with eager minds back for another wonderful school year. The summer has flown by, and while we still have a few more days left, there's no better time to celebrate our brand new edition. So I'm beyond excited for our students and staff who will have new and reinvigorated learning environments. And I'm also happy to celebrate the groundbreaking of the second phase of the exciting project. We will soon have a new cafeteria and a new kitchen space. This major investment in our school and our young people demonstrates the care our city has for us and will help to continue the caring culture that is so central to our mission at Stoddard. So let's get this community celebration started. Please welcome one of our students at Stoddard, Max, to say a few words.
Good morning, my name is Max Larkin, and in a few days, I'll be a fourth grader here at Stoddard Elementary School. I can't believe summer is over and it's time to start another year of learning. I'm excited to see all my friends again and meet my new teachers. Coming back to Stoddard for the first time since June, I'm in awe of this brand new addition to our school community. We're so lucky that our leaders in DC care so much about kids like me and making sure we have the tools we need to succeed in school and life. I want to invite our city's leader up now. Please give a warm welcome to Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you, Delano. Well, let's give Max a big round of applause. I hear Max has a birthday coming up, so let's give him also a happy birthday. And I hear the Wolfpack. Did you hear our kids with their great rendition from Oz? Give them a round of applause. And to our amazing Principal Lutz, thank you and congratulations on bringing on with the entire DC government team this great addition. What we don't tell principals is that they're also real estate managers and property managers, and that's all that good stuff. And they have a great team to work with. I want to acknowledge and thank our public education team, starting with Deputy Mayor Paul Kine, State Superintendent Antoinette Mitchell, and the Chancellor of DCPS, Louis Farabee. Thank you, Chancellor Farabee. We're also joined today by Delano Hunter, who is our Director of Real Estate and Construction, at our Real Estate and Construction arm, and the Director of the Department of General Services, and our DPR Director, Parks and Rec Director, Thanie Freeman. So you should know and you can see that we are excited about this 1 week lead up to the start of school in Washington, D.C., which is August 25th, which is next Monday. Here's what we know. There's a lot happening for kids in our city, and they deserve a strong and joyful start to the school year. We have the best educators in the country in our teaching corps in DC Public Schools. Thank you, teachers. Let's hear for the teachers here at Stoddard. Give them a big round of applause. I want to thank all of the administrators and building staff here at Stoddard. Give them a big round of applause. Today is the first day of school for our teachers, and we are preparing to welcome more than 99,000 kids to DC public schools. Some are already back at our DC public charter schools, and I am pleased to report that it is now, we have our highest enrollment in public schools in 2 decades. So you know what that means. Not only are families choosing Washington, D.C., they are choosing public education in Washington, D.C., and Stoddard Elementary is at the top of the list. You know what it means when you have to build new buildings? You have more kids, more teachers, more education, and more great things happening. Today, we are celebrating the addition of 10 new classrooms here at Stoddard, and as the principal mentioned, we will break ground on even more new space. So even with a very tight and very unusual budget season this year, one of the few places where we grew investments and continue to grow investments is in public schools. And that's because our investments in schools are working. It's not just that enrollment is up, graduation rates are up, teacher retention rates are up, and we continue to innovate in terms of the programs that we offer our kids in all 8 wards, including this year we will be opening a new advanced technical center at Whitman Walker in Ward 8. And today we will also be releasing, as we have for the past several years, our Back to School Guide, which is a great resource for families. So you not only do you know what to do during the school day, but out of school time programs, advice for middle school families, and much more. The guide is also online at backtoschool.dc.gov, and I encourage you to check it out. So to all of our kiddos out there, enjoy the last week of summer. All of your adults here in the building can't wait to see you next week. And I just want to congratulate my teams at DCPS, the public education team, as well as our DGS team, who has been working to get this edition open. And I also want to say a big thank you to the community. This community has been very focused on what needs to happen here. And we want to thank you for that, because when we have community involvement, we deliver projects that work for the schools, the school community, but also the greater community. And I think that's exactly what has happened here at Stoddard. So congratulations, everybody. And I would now like to introduce your representatives on the council of the district, Council Member Matt Fruman.
Thank you very much, Mayor Bowser. Thank you to the whole education team. This is such an exciting day. And I joined this community, Glover Park. What a magical, magical place this is. And what a heart, what a beating heart to that community Stoddard Elementary is. One more hand for this great addition. I do want to say, this is a challenging time for the district, but this is an incredibly exciting time for our families as we go back to school. And each year as we go back to school, I go and visit every single school in the ward to see how things are going. How are we doing in terms of enrollment? How are we doing in terms of hiring of teachers? How are we doing in terms of the conditions of the buildings? And I've worked on these issues for close to 20 years. And 2 years ago, when I went around and I asked those questions, it was the best I had ever seen. And then last year, when I went around and asked those questions, it was better still. And this year, it is better still. It is amazing how ready we are for this school year, how exciting this is with these new facilities. Thank you so much to our education team, Director Hunter. And one more round of applause for this great team that's delivered this great edition.
All right, thank you so much, Council Member Fruman. So that means we have to do even better next year. My name is Delano Hunter, and I'm proud to serve as the Director of the DC Department of General Services, and I'm a proud graduate of DC Public Schools. Fort Lincoln and Thurgood Marshall Elementary School, and also Spingarn Senior High School. So it's deeply personal to be able to be a part of educating the next generation of DCPS scholars, an institution that I owe so much to. So I want to thank the team that helped make today possible. You've heard from our education partners and the work that they're doing. I just want to thank again Chancellor Farabee and his executive leadership team and his capital construction team. We want to thank the Principal Lutz, and the Stoddard community, including the school improvement team. I want to acknowledge my colleagues at DGS, the project manager, Tom Henderson. Also, I want to recognize Jenna Bellino and Aaron Foxworthy and John Stokes on a wonderful job. And the hardworking architects at Schimberg Levinas. Please raise your hand to be recognized. And the hardworking men and women for our general contractors, Caramonte Construction. Please raise your hands to be recognized. And every team needs a captain, and the captain of our team, the leader of our team, is Mayor Bowser. So we are appreciative of your continued investments here in the district. And I just want to give you just a sense of what we are celebrating today. This is part one of a two-step modernization, which totals $26.7 million project, or phase one of the expansion projects includes East End Classroom Addition, approximately 16,554 square feet. That includes 10 new classrooms, each designed with millwork, cubbies, sinks, and interactive presentation boards. The classrooms are also outfitted with modern furniture and technology in alignment with DCPS education specs. Also, we're proud of not just the work we did, but the way in which we went about. Certified business enterprise and small business construction participation exceeded 35% for this goal, actually clocking in right at about 39%. And nearly $6 million was contributed to CBEs on this project. And as the principal has mentioned, phase two of the project will entail a 7,200 square feet new cafeteria, which is expected to be completed just next summer, so don't go too far. And this is just one of many modernizations and projects this summer. So we'll have a busy few weeks. Started as just one school completed this summer. Just next week, we'll cut the ribbon on a brand new Oyster Adams Bilingual School, Truesdale Elementary School. Then also we'll do a ribbon cutting for Burroughs, or groundbreaking for Burroughs Elementary. So stay tuned. With that being said, I am going to welcome to the podium Nigel Howie, a student here at Stoddard, and he's going to introduce Chancellor Farabee. Nigel?
Good morning. My name is Nigel Howie, and I graduated from Stoddard in 2024. While I am now a Hardy Middle School Hawk, I'll always be part of the Stoddard Wolfpack. I have grown and changed a lot since graduating from Stoddard, and so has my school. Having a nice school matters, because when kids like me come to a safe and healthy environment, we can give learning our all, and our teachers have the resources they need to focus on us and our successes. I have so many great memories from my years here at Stoddard, and I know the students who come after me will make so many more in this great new addition. Now I want to invite up someone who never stops championing for DC Public Schools. Please welcome Chancellor Dr. Louis Farabee.
Thank you, Nigel. I appreciate that introduction. Let's give it up again for our student performers today and all of our presenters that were amazing. It's great to be here at the home of the Stoddard Wolves and our first ribbon cutting for school year 2025-26. Even though technically we got a few more days before we start the school year, and our young people will have a few days of summer left. Mayor Bowser, thank you for your continued investments in our public schools, making sure that our modernizations and our additions are possible, and we continue to create great space for our students. You once said, and you said it today, that Our educators are the driving force behind our progress in the district. And I believe pairing great educators with modernized spaces that are world-class facilities is a combination that cannot be compared to any other, and is a great driver of why we continue to experience student achievement here in the district. Started is just many of several modernizations. You heard that from Director Hunter. Thank you to you and your team, Director Hunter, for the great work that happened throughout the summer. Let's give him and his team another round of applause, please. We continue to get it right each year. I appreciate you acknowledging that work, Councilmember Fruman, as we have a great reputation of producing not only world-class facilities, but doing it in a very timely manner for our students and staff. For those of you that are history buffs, I got a little bit of history for you today. This is one of the first for this school year, but it also is not the first for Stoddard. Stoddard was the first school to receive the U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon Award for its commitment to environmental efficiency and student health and wellness. So let's, again, give it up to the Stoddard community. Now, I know they're not done with being the first, because we might have among us the first astronaut from Stoddard to go into the space in their next chapter. And because of the amazing civics education we have here, Mayor, we might have the first mayor of D.C. here at Stoddard as well. But we know the possibilities, or the governor, I'm sorry, the governor of the district. But, you know, the possibilities here are endless because of the great team here. The staff is amazing, phenomenal principal. Let's give Principal Lutz and her team another round of applause. Really grateful to all of our educators, the educators here in the nation's capital that continue to provide engaging and great instruction for our students, and also to my colleagues on the education team, Deputy Mayor Kine, Dr. Mitchell. Thank you again for your work in supporting D.C. Public Schools. And again, Councilman Fruman, thank you for your leadership here in this particular ward. Now it's my pleasure to take us to what we've come here before, is the ribbon cutting. So join us as we cut the ribbon, and again, excited to start school on Monday, August 25th. Thank you.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9. Everybody's good? Thumbs up? Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody's good? Thumbs up? Yep. You need more levels? Does everybody need levels? More levels? Yes? I see one person. Everyone else? Just don't touch the output for us, please, yeah? Media mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Just wait a year or two.
Copy. Media mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Better, yeah? Wonderful. Good. Painting by numbers?
Color temperature. Color temperature. Yeah, no smart stuff. No smart stuff. Listen to what she said. Here's the good news. The larger contour.
Everybody set? Here we go.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C., and we are at beautiful Stoddard Elementary School in Washington, celebrating the start of school. Our teachers reported to work today. Our students report to class on the Monday, August 25th. So boys and girls, you have one more week, and then we'll see you at school. I have time for a few questions. Yes, please introduce yourself. Yep.
Can you tell us how you feel about the additional National Guard troops coming from other states, West Virginia, South Carolina, Ohio? Do you feel that this has kind of usurped your authority even more, given the president's federalization efforts?
We don't have any authority over the D.C. Guard or any other guards, but I think it is kind of makes the point that this is not about D.C. crime. Any other questions? Yep.
Sam P.K. Collins, Washington Informer. Some pretty damning video came out this weekend. An organizer with Harry's Wildest Dreams detained by Metro Police. Given that school is coming up, what guarantee do you have to parents that their children will be safe in their interactions with police officers coming to and from school?
Well, we, as you know, rely on our metro system as our school transportation system. Also know that all of our children have a Kids Ride Free card. And so they have access to use the metro to get to and from school and to their after-school activities. So there should be no reason for a child to have a negative experience with Metro Transit or any other police related to fare evasion. And we continue to expect our children to behave in a good way, in a lawful way, and get to school and be ready to learn. We will, and I've reviewed those reports, and I'll continue to review them with MPD to see if there's something we need to follow up on. I'm sorry?
If I may follow up.
Sure.
All that notwithstanding, what guarantee do you have that MPD and law enforcement under your jurisdiction will do their job in just standing within the bounds of the law as it relates to their engagement with young people?
How we interact with our police officers hasn't changed. They're always expected to follow the law and engage in constitutional policing. Our residents continue to have the safeguards that we have in place in our law and our protocols, including body-worn camera, including the ability to make complaints to the police complaints board. So no one is going to sit up here and guarantee that anything. What I can guarantee is that we have a framework of laws and protocols that support constitutional policing. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Jenny Gathright with the Washington Post. There's been video of ICE arrests, spreading all across social media, particularly one at 14th and R Northwest over the weekend, where ICE agents tackled a delivery driver and took him into custody. I guess, what's your reaction when you're seeing these videos in the city, how they're affecting people? And then a follow-up, given that the judge in the lawsuit has yet to officially rule on whether MPD will be forced to cooperate with ICE, what do you want MPD officers to be doing in the meantime as they're going around the city and potentially being asked to cooperate with these kinds of arrests?
So let me start. I don't want to comment on individual incidents because I won't have all of the details. I will say this, however, the focus should be on violent crime, and that's what has been promoted, that we're focusing on violent criminals and violent offenders and violence. And nobody is against focusing on driving down any level of violence. And so if this is really about immigration enforcement, I think the administration should make that plain. Yeah.
Sorry. You've talked a lot about how one of your goals is just steering the city to the other side of this administration with its home rule intact. Given the current situation, do you think the city's home rule is at risk, and how are you reflecting on this moment as it sort of seems like it's some of your concerns or potential concerns about this administration are starting to be realized?
I don't think my concerns are not new. All right, and I think anybody who has followed the rhetoric from the campaign throughout these attacks and the rhetoric around them is not new. Yep.
Marielle Carbone with DC News Now. I'm just wondering if you've had any conversations over the last week with your federal partners just about agents identifying themselves, having their faces covered. It's a concern we're hearing and seeing out on the streets.
We have. I think I mentioned that last week about being very important to us that agents be identified. I did ask the chief to have further conversation about these masks. There's no reason for a law enforcement official to be masked.
Did she get any response on that?
I asked her to talk to it. I will continue to have to follow up.
Mayor
Yep.
Bowser, yeah. Brad Bell with Channel 7. A couple questions.
Yep.
Some messaging coming from the administration, the White House today, saying that D.C. is being made safer, and they put out some arrest numbers and numbers of guns being seized. How would you characterize this operation? Has it made D.C. safer?
MPD takes guns off the street every day and every week. And anytime you have a surge of officers, I would expect that you have some results. I say repeatedly, we need 500 more officers in D.C. With 500 more officers, get 500 more officers worth of results. And so what is not necessary, however, is this kind of commandeering of the attempted commandeering of the force itself, and the expanded, I think, work that is not related to violence.
So additionally, with this, the takeover, what coordination is there? There's this man Terry Cole out there.
Let me correct you. There is no takeover. What there is a surge in federal law enforcement. And that surge in federal law enforcement necessarily has to coordinate with the Metropolitan Police Department under the leadership of Pamela Smith, the Chief of Police.
Are they coordinating to your satisfaction?
I think there's going to be work to be done, for sure. But, you know, there's work to be done. Yes.
We've heard that you are distributing weapons to these soldiers.
That's a question for the Department of the Army.
Well, you must be concerned about that since they're not trained in law enforcement.
They can't do law enforcement as far as I know.
So it's got to be concerning to you that if they're armed.
That is not what I have been advised, and unless their orders have somehow changed, I don't know that they can engage in arrest. Yes.
If I can follow up.
Yes, sure.
Is there any coordination between your office and the White House, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel?
Yes.
But are you getting the answers to your questions, or is it not as clear as you would like it?
I think we're 7 or 8 days into this situation, and it evolves.
What does that mean?
It means just what I said.
It's evolving, or it evolves?
I'm not going to get into the difference in suffixes.
Mayor Bowser.
Well, yes, it's changed from day to day. Let me put it that way.
Good or bad?
Hold on, excuse me.
Sort of on that note, on last Monday, you'd come out and said that while this was unsettling, that potentially this could be a productive partnership with law enforcement over 30 days. Has your approach or your strategy in dealing with the administration changed since that time in terms of whether this could be productive, or are there more concerns? And are there specific things you're watching that could present a risk to the D.C. community that would change that strategy further?
Well, let me just put it to you this way. I will engage our government in ensuring that we are following the law. Now, what you haven't heard me say any differently in the last 7 days is that the district will follow the law. When there have been changes or attempts to change that was outside of the law, that's why we challenged those changes in court. And as a result, those changes have been backed off from. And so our strategy will deal with the reality as it is presented.
Even just to the second part of that question, even within the law, are there particular areas you're watching closely that if it could present a risk to your community that you would have to?
This is what we're watching closely. How can we be responsive in a way that is strategic and can be helpful? Another way to put it, how can we respond in a way that's strategic and averts harm? And I can't give you a laundry list, but I can assure you that very smart people who work across the government are working on that, and we are we're organizing ourselves in a way to deal with this incident response that is most efficient for DC government. But what I would caution everybody to think is, because you're all very logical, smart people, and you want all of this to make sense. This doesn't make sense. You know it doesn't make sense. The numbers on the ground in the district don't support 1,000 people from other states coming to Washington, D.C. You know that. We're in this beautiful school with children singing about to go to school in a beautifully renovated building with the most prepared teachers in the country. You know the facts on the ground don't support this. You know that. You know it couldn't be done in a neighboring state. You know that. This is not about something that fits into logic. So if you want to know what's happening, the question is really not for us. It's for why the military would be deployed in an American city to police Americans. That's the question. And it's not for me. Yes.
Mayor, the last message for community members who are obviously concerned with the heightened immigration enforcement, and they're going to be returning to school. We saw some of the previous threats that the administration made and schools gearing up, Mundo Verde, and now they're going to be walking to school and they're seeing people getting picked up. What's your message to those families as they're bracing for it?
This is my message. I think as a nation, we need to demand comprehensive immigration reform. There needs to be a pathway to citizenship for hardworking people who have made this country their home. And we need to separate the discussion of enforcement against violent offenders and everyday hardworking people who have made this country their home. For us in DC, we have many immigrants who have lived here legally because of TPS protections. This administration needs to make those TPS protections clear and stand behind them. We have many people who have immigrated to this country who have valid work permits and student visas. We need to make plain that they are not under attack. What needs to be made plain is what has been discussed for many, many months, is that violent offenders would be dealt with. That is what we have to focus on. So for people who are anxious and afraid, I'm sorry that this is happening, but the change that needs to happen is with comprehensive immigration reform and leadership at the national level.
Madam Mayor,
yeah.
Two police officers were injured Saturday night when they tried to tackle someone on ATV. I believe the administration is trying to force the Metropolitan Police to adopt more aggressive tactics than they had previously.
I'm not familiar with that case yet. I'll probably, if that's an MPD officer, I'll get briefed on it and or ask the chief if there were other officers that were involved.
I think they're being forced to adopt more aggressive tactics than they had before all this happened.
The standards that our police work under haven't changed.
All right.
Okay. All right. You have the last question.
I'm Alan Etter from WTOP.
Yes, good to see you.
Good to see you. I know you've had a chance to meet with the Attorney General. Have you had any direct interaction with the President? Do you want that? And what would you say to the President if you have that opportunity?
The President issued an executive order that names Pam Bondi his designee, and that's who I'll work with. Thank you, everybody.